Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building.
Oh, well, that'll do it. Hold on. I got a little solo shot here. Oh, there he is. There's Jordan JC. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. I actually just wanted to show off the studio. Just wanted to show
good, looking good.
I'm getting it together. A little up cam. Nice. Yeah, man, I'm looking here. Hold on. And now I'm looking at you. Oh, we got a lot to get into on today's show as the Chicago Bears have a very, very good head coach.
Oh, yeah.
And dare I say, he may be trending into being one of the best. I got to have that conversation with you guys. Call it a hot take if you want.
Hey.
But I'm here for it. And then, got to take a look at this season as a whole. I know when we're in the moment, a lot of times we look at certain things and we go, this guy sucks. He's terrible. There's no way you... But it's a good season for Ryan Poles. All that and more in today's episode of The Morning Breeze. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. The date's 11/18/2025, 7:09 in the morning, and we're in first place.
Oh,
is that the first place Chicago Bears out here?
No.
Is that it?
Sounds good
First
to me.
place, that's right.
Sounds good to me.
We're not next to each other, Jordan JC, but success.
Shout out to JP.
That may be the greatest thing that's been brought to this show in a while. I'm not gonna lie to you. Every time I see it, it does crack me up in a major way. Success.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. JC, how you feeling this morning, brother?
Oh, feeling good. Like you said, man, we're in first place. No one is above us. Everybody is below us. We're looking down on you guys now in the NFC North, and it feels good on a victory Tuesday.
It's a victory every day when you're in first place. You know what I mean? We're big dubs, as they say. But no, man, listen, I want to have the conversation on that, right? Because you've got a team right now in the Chicago Bears who I truly feel like is continuing to trend in the right direction. And I think there is a conversation that can be had now as we've made it to this point in the season. Remember when we hired Ben Johnson, one of the first things I said, JC, was when you have the guy, it usually doesn't take a long time for you to know that.
Mm-hmm.
When the Packers hired LaFleur, he could coach. When the Vikings hired KOC, he could coach. When the Rams hired McVay, when the 49ers hired Shanahan, you instantly went, they got the guy. Yep, they got the guy. Yep, that's a guy. As we are now in week 11, 10 weeks into this Chicago Bears season, you see a quarterback developing. You see a top 10 offense. You see a first place Chicago Bears team.
Mm-hmm.
And JC, when I see all of that together, it makes me look at this Bears team and go, we finally got the guy. And not just the guy who's going to be solid. We got our McVay. We got our Shanahan. We've got our guy that can lead us to Super Bowls. We've got our guy that is going to be the reason more times than not that we win the game. I know there's a lot of question marks on the second half of the season. You want to know what is going to continue to happen in the second half of the season? Ben Johnson's probably going to be a pretty good head coach. That, to me, is so exciting. And dare I say, listen, I said this on the Chicago Bears podcast yesterday. I think that Ben Johnson may be the best coach the Bears have ever had. I know Mike Ditka wins the Super Bowl. I'm not taking anything away from that. I like how Tom Thayer laid it out. He said Ditka was the best coach for 85.
Mm-hmm. All right, that, yeah.
But Ben Johnson is the best head coach that we've ever had. Everything continues to get better around Ben Johnson. Everything continues to improve around Ben Johnson. And I truly feel like as you continue down this path, more and more, you're just going to see things that make you go, wow, this dude is really good, and this team continues to get better around him.
No, I'm right there with you. These are exciting times, and you can sit here and say, "Oh, we're hot taking it," or pause and slow your brakes. But you can see it. The eye test shows you that week after week after week, this thing is getting better and better. The culture is growing. The coaching staff is evolving. Ben Johnson is getting better at his craft as he goes as a head coach. He's already a genius as an OC, and so when you put all these things together, I'm right there with you. I think that he is probably the best head coach that we've ever had in totality. You want to say Mike Ditka, okay, yes, of course, 85.
You want to say Ditka, you want to say Lovey. Like, I think there's a couple of names there, yeah, but
y'all fired Lovey after a 10-6 season. I understand it did look bad at the end of the season. Bad. I know they started really well and then it ended bad, so you went off of that. But I mean, encompassing everything you want in a head coach, the charisma, the coachability, the schemes, the tactics, the genius behind his play calling, the camaraderie that he has with the players, the teammates. I think that's also being not really being talked about, because if you want to compare that to a Mike Ditka was more of an edgy head coach, and it was, like you said, it was right for that time. For 85, he was the appropriate coach. But now you can feel like this is something that is going to sustain itself and just continue to get better year after year. Just 10 games into this whatever this is looking, in my opinion, I won't say special, but it's getting to the point where you're getting used to hearing Ben Johnson give his winning speeches. You're getting used to the good, better, best. And so for me in particular, I take that and say, okay, this can only get better. Like we're again the cardiac Bears for a reason. We're winning games on the last second drives in the fourth quarter. When will it get to the point where we're starting to blow teams out, and we do look like the Detroit Lions of last year or of even this year? When will it get to that point where that blueprint becomes evident and Ben Johnson is just humming now as a head coach? I think that's going to be very soon. He already said, again, we're going to be playing our best football going into December. And so I look forward to that. We have some challenging games coming up, but I think that we're up to the task because of the coaching staff and because of the person that is spearheading this. And you love to see it. I think these are special times. I think this is definitely not a hot take. I think that it is very true that we might have the best head coach in the Bears era ever.
And I think that's the thing, right? It's not a slight to any of the other head coaches that have been here before. It's not a slight to Mike Ditka. You won a championship, right? Like there is no slight. To me, It just truly speaks to the conversation, though, that as you watch the Bears, dog, this isn't different from last season personnel-wise. Like, he's coaching the same team, essentially. What's the very different offensive line?
Draft picks. I mean,
very different
draft.
offensive line. Very different offensive line.
That's true. Yeah, that helps.
But you also have to have a scheme that works for those guys.
Right.
There was a scheme that last year had a triple option out there. There was a scheme that last year had Braxton Jones on bended knee. There was this scheme last year. You know what I mean? Like there's all of these things where you look at it and you're like, yes, you did help Caleb Williams in this way. But for the most part, looking at this team, if anything, they're more banged up than they were last season.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the same pieces that are still a part of this team that you are going out there and finding ways to win games with. There's a lot of pieces that were still here last season that were main names last season that you are finding ways to win games with. That is a completely different mindset. And I think it goes down to the trust that they have in Ben Johnson. And that trust had to be built. I'll be honest with you, JC. Beginning of the season, they were the same team.
Mm-hmm.
First game of the season, they were the exact same football team. Maybe throw second game in there. Got clapped by Detroit. You know what I mean? Like you were the team that you were the year before, and you believed it, and you went, we're gonna lose it again, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And since then, you have consistently found ways to win games when you needed to win them most. You have consistently put yourself in position to go out there and be successful more times than not. You have consistently, even with a banged up defense and blown leads, you have found a way to fight back in every single game. That's not the team you had before. That's a change in mindset. That's a change in belief. That's a change in coaching. That is what good coaching can do to the NBA, to the NFL.
Yeah.
NBA, go get LeBron. And maybe not. I ain't fell asleep on SportsCenter in a while. I fell asleep on SportsCenter last night. And
what happened?
Just keep replaying SportsCenter all night. I just kept hearing LeBron talk about sciatica. Just like retire in my sleep. I'm like,
might be almost time. Might be almost time.
Almost.
No, you know what? I'm with you though on just the Ben Johnson front again. For me, when you look at the start of the season, of course, it took some time to kind of ramp up. And you could say that at the beginning, it did look like the very same team that we had last year. But that, again, is the sign of a very good coach and a good staff, is that once that culture started to shift and you started to see the players buy in to the message, starting in the offseason, where Ben Johnson says our practices and our training camps are going to be grueling. They're going to be probably harder than anything you've ever done. And sure enough, it was. People were getting soft tissue injuries and having to sit out and getting adjusted to how difficult those training camps were, because they want to make sure that you're prepared for the season more than ever. They shifted that. They made adjustments when it came to that. Then when it came to the season, Ben Johnson never wavered in his message of what we need to do in order to be a winning franchise, a winning team. And you saw that over time. And again, like I said, the players show it. When we have Caleb Williams, who's not necessarily having a good game, but then now you can rely on other players that will step up, as I mentioned last time, and be that Iceman in a sense.
Yeah.
That's a product of your coaching staff. That's a product of them also being cool, calm, and collected in the moment and knowing what to do in those moments when it's time to win. Again, this is all a combination of a winning culture. And so, again, I think you got the guy. Thankfully, shout out to Kevin Warren. I think that also needs to be said. Shout out to the front office. Shout out to the McCaskey family for finally owning up and saying, hey, we're not a mom and pop franchise anymore. We need to swing, for the fences. We need to play with the big dogs. So you went out and you got the offensive line that you needed to protect Caleb. You went out and got the best head coaching candidate that was the hottest name on the market, and the best offensive genius as of now. And so, again, putting all that together, now we're starting to see the fruits of your labor. And I think it's only going to get better.
Yeah, no, 100%. To me, I'm excited about where this team is at. I feel like this is a team that is finding a way consistently to break what the expectations are for them. And if you can continue to do that, if you can continue to overcome your shortcomings this season. Listen, I told y'all, this team ain't who it's going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's going to be changes made to this team. There's going to be differences on this team. You're going to have different players moving forward. There's going to be pieces that you feel are great pieces right now who probably aren't going to be a part of this team moving forward. And that's okay. That's what getting better is. That's what improving the team and adding to the team and building through the draft truly is. But you got to have that piece at the top. And, dog, I'm telling you, every time you hear Ben Johnson open his mouth, it's not like a Matt Nagy breath of fresh air. That was kind of what I was wondering early in the season. I was like, okay, is this just Nagy? Is this just, he understands what we want to hear and what we remember. Nagy was running like I formation, and he's like, "Oh, pay homage, baby.
Let's get back to the old Bears
We're gonna
football.
run it like the fridge. Here we go." I mean, like, and then when you actually had to be an intelligent human being, I shouldn't say that. When you actually had to go out there and be smarter on the football field, you didn't have it.
I won't say.
He didn't remember we went, hey bro, well, you weren't doing a show then, but I remember doing a show and everybody in Chicago media was, hey dog, like, you got Mitch Trubisky, bro. You ran the ball 11 times. You gotta run the football. And Matt Nagy went up to the podium and said, I know I have to run the ball. I'm not an idiot. Actually said it just like that. That was a pretty good impression if you remember that.
Yeah, I do. I remember.
Like, and then he ran the ball like 25 times the next week, and the Bears won. Lo and behold, and guess what? He didn't run the football no more. Because he was tied to proving and making his system work. When you got to prove who you are, when you just are, when you just exist, when you just walk into a room and you go, hey, I'm Ben, here's my Johnson.
That was good. That was good.
You're not sitting there trying to figure out or trying to impress the media. You're just existing in what you're already good at. And to me, that's what we're getting from Ben Johnson. It isn't, I'm here to prove that this works. I'm here to make. Now, sometimes you get a little pass happy, sure.
Yeah.
You get a little pass happy. I ain't gonna lie. It'd be like, yeah, man, it's snowing. You got a blizzard going sideways. You got 70-mile-an-hour winds. What you doing? Put that ball in the air.
30 passes.
Put that ball in the air. Sometimes you get a little pass happy.
Yeah.
But, like, to me, I truly see a coach who's like, try and make it work, try and make it work, try and make it work. It ain't working. We got to win this game.
I love the comparison that you put with him versus Matt Nagy, because one of the things that I had an issue with Matt Nagy, it looked cute at first, right? You're talking about all the different funny plays and creative plays and all the refrigerator Perry play and all that stuff that pays homage to the team.
Wasn't that Akeem Hicks running that stuff?
Yeah, it was Akeem. Or I don't know if he caught no, that was somebody else that caught the football.
No, I think he just ran it up the middle. I think it was an actual run play. He's like, you like that little homage to the fridge?
Yeah, okay.
You're bad.
But then, as you mentioned, over time, you started to see the chinks in the armor, because when it was time to maybe make an adjustment to how teams were playing you, it was the whole, well, I'm still going to be me, label that he had on his playing card.
Be you. No,
be you.
Be somebody else.
Be you, be me,
you could have
be
been
us,
Ben Johnson.
be everybody. and that's the thing with Ben Johnson, is that you've seen him more times than not make the adjustments when he's needed to. Make a different play call or start with the run game. And if the run game's not there, obviously, you're going to rely on Caleb. Or when Caleb's not having a good game, you got Calvin Unguy, gashing everybody for 4 or 5 yards, and DeAndre Swift, killing it out of the backfield. And so that's another sign of a very good coach, is that he's adjusting to his roster. Yeah. The roster doesn't adjust to him. He doesn't have to prove himself by saying, oh, well, I'm the spotlight. No, your players are the spotlight. Yes. The team is the spotlight. And that's exactly what Ben Johnson is showing, is that he is the type of coach that puts the roster ahead of himself, ahead of his own glory, because essentially you will get the glory when your team continues to win. That's how it works. You're going to get respect anyway. They're going to be saying, oh, Ben Johnson's the reason. Just like when Matt Nagy won Coach of the Year, even though we knew Vic Fangio was really the reason that they won. He should have gotten that award. So that's my whole point, is that when you do things the right way, you still are successful. And even to your point about mentioning Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, I looked up their records to start. I mean, Ben is already on a tear better than Shanahan. 2017, when Cal was the coach of the 49ers, and even 18, he had losing records. He was 6-10 and 4-12 until he got into that really good year, 2019, 13-3. And
Didn't
so
Jimmy Garoppolo die both of those years?
I think so.
Wasn't that the year where Jimmy was just like, "Hey, I'm back. Oh, my back."
Yep. Nope. No, you're not. So it took a minute. And I think even with Sean McVay, if I looked up his record, he had a better start to his career as a coach. He was 11-5 in 2017 and 13-3. As a matter of fact, Jesus, he's only had one losing season. 2022.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So when you mentioned the likes of those coaches who clearly you can see the eye test shows, oh yeah, these guys know what they're doing. Ben Johnson is right up there. You can tell he's about business. He knows what he's doing. I like what you said about when you get to the intelligence part, when you get past all the coach speak and you start getting used to hearing him talk, you can tell he is an intelligent person. He knows what he's talking about. He's not just filler statements and whatever you want to hear. He's actually coaching.
He talks like a defensive guy, where like the defensive guy, like, although Dennis Allen used some head coach speak, we got to get him back into a coordinator. DA be coach speaking it up. He come out, he be, hey, all right, listen, partner, I'll tell you right now. Let me talk to you for a second. We got to run that ball, baby. We're going to run that ball. We're going to get down there. We're going to run that ball, but we got to make the stop. If you can't stop the run, then you're going to run the stop. That's a ticket.
What?
That's a ticket. You can't be getting tickets out here. Thanks, DA. I love you, dog. I love you. I be cracking up because I be trying to give DA because by the time we talk to DA, it'd be like Thursday. Must be like, so last week you gave up 906 yards. I be like, he got no answers for last week, bro. We got to talk about this week.
They got to be talking about it. Move on. Just move on.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, you could throw the baby out with the bath water, but that don't mean he gonna swim.
What?
The heck are you talking about, DA? I love it though. I ain't gonna lie to you, because you can tell he just went from being a head coach.
Yeah,
you ever notice
he's got to get that out of him.
No other coordinator opens up with a statement.
Yeah.
Like, that's what head coaches normally do. You can tell he just got done being a head coach. Even that, though, like, be honest. And I think this is the biggest thing. And then we do got to move forward with our other topic here. But I feel like this is such a good topic today. And shout out to y'all for being here. I don't know if you noticed, JC, the internet's not working.
Are you serious?
The internet is down in Chicago. That's what took me so long to get started. Like, I'm sitting here looking stuff up, and it was like, it said, Cloudflare outage. The internet is broken again.
Cloudflare?
So essentially the internet. So I was like, I'm sitting here trying to figure stuff out. I'm like, what the heck is happening? Why is this not working? Why can I not get live?
You had syndrome attacking the city of Chicago or something? What Cloudflare? Okay, all right.
I'm going to tell you right now, baby, you could be Mr. Incredible, but that don't mean the missus going to wear them Spanx. Bear down.
Watch it now. Watch it.
Let's see you, Mrs. Incredible. Hey, Chloe Bailey. What's going on?
All right.
That was phenomenal. No, but even that, to me, the fact that you were okay bringing in a head coach that was a head coach before.
Yeah.
Or a DC that was a head coach before, that you're okay bringing in guys that eventually probably will not be a part of your staff because they will be head coaches. The mindset that takes, like, Antoine Randall is getting a OC head coaching job. You know that eventually Declan Doyle probably ends up getting a job. You know that, like, you're bringing on guys that most coaches will go, well, he could take my job.
Yeah.
Well, not if he helps you win. And that's what I love about the mindset is, like, hey, it is funny, like, seeing DA still be a head coach. But that is a guy who was a head coach already. That's a guy who we've seen the McCaskies in the past go, well, he can stabilize this job. Like, you're taking a chance in that matter. So I love the fact that Ben Johnson is coming out here, and it's not about, the ego of making things work. It's about actually winning game.
Yeah.
And learning from these guys that have been there in the past. So shout out to that, man. Shout out to everything Ben Johnson's doing. And shout out to DA for the press conferences, man. Keep them coming. Hey, listen, guys, we got to rush.
Here you go.
We're going to cover, and we're going to take that football away. That dog may not hunt, but that don't mean it can't get bit. You know what I mean?
No, I don't, DA. No, I don't. Keep on playing defense.
Hey, man. Appreciate you. Oh, wait a minute. That's how you get to that right there.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that picture accidentally popped up. That wasn't even intended there. Hey, man, we're going to keep this thing moving along. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. On the other side, I want to talk about Ryan Poles a little bit. As we're having all these fun conversations. We're winning 7-3. We're at the top, baby. But when you look at everything that Ryan Poles has done, can you say that this season's been a successful season? We'll talk about that coming up next and give you guys a little update. Some of you may be a little bit more moody than others as we head into the rest of this season. We'll talk about all that and more coming up next.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. That's right. New website, new merch, all out. We've been telling you guys to pull up on us. Now you can at twcbreeze.com, where you can find out all of the latest stuff going on. What all can they find there, Super Producer?
Listen, you can join the nation, sign up to our mailing list, and be up to date for events and news. You can also visit the shop page and order merch, because we have t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got mugs, we got hats, we got all kind of stuff. So, hey, we appreciate you being tuned in with us. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube page and follow us on all our socials. Check us out at twcbreeze.com.
He's way too excited.
I am.
Joe's a big join the nation guy. I don't know if he's trying to get people to go buy our merch or if he's like trying to recruit them for like
and making his own group.
Trying to get a rally. He's trying to get a little rally going.
What do we rally, Joe?
No, just because you wear the black one doesn't mean that it's acceptable. Calm down there, Kanye West.
Oh.
Welcome back, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Mr. Meaty Jordan JC in the building. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let us know in the comments how you feel about Ben Johnson. Do you feel like he is the best coach the Chicago Bears have ever had? Are you riding this Bears high like I am?
Oh.
I'm tingly. I'm not gonna lie to you, JC.
Oh yeah, I'm right there.
Stand up. This whole show gets canceled, dog.
Oh, don't you do that.
As we move forward here, I feel like, right, we've all had the conversation, and I know we've had it on this podcast about Ryan Poles, and we've gone at him, we've thrown the daggers at him, we've said, this guy stinks. And you have to look at the totality of everything this season. Now, am I going to sit here and say that he did not stink at building offensive lines? No, he did. Am I going to sit here and say that he did not stink at drafting 3rd and 4th round picks? Seems like he still does. Am I going to sit here and say that there aren't issues? No. But when you talk about the entirety of this season and what it has led up to, starting with, let's start with the coaches. Coaches are right? Coaches are right. He got Ben Johnson to come here. We can say Caleb Williams. We can say, the situation. We all this stuff. He got Ben Johnson to come here. Love it. You're winning. Get the entire coaching staff. Love it. You're winning. Boom. Dennis Allen's here. What, we getting Antoine Randall? Oh, it's getting expensive. Whoa, are we adding Eric Bieniemy? Wow. Hopefully he doesn't get laid out on the sidelines. We adding Al Harris, who's definitely going to be a DC somewhere.
Mm.
You know the Chicago Bears, like 3 Chicago Bears are the 3 leaders in interceptions.
Nashon,
Tremaine
Kevin
Edmonds,
Byard,
Nashon, Kevin Byard.
Yep. 5, 4, and 4.
They're playing. It's dominant, right?
Yep.
Like you've gone out and added all these pieces, expensive pieces.
Mm.
So great start. Then you go to the draft. It didn't start off how we wanted.
I didn't think so.
It didn't start off how we wanted, right?
Yeah.
But now I think we can kind of say Colston Loveland looks like a really talented football player. Has won you a football game this season. Luther Burden looks like a really talented football player. Kyle Monangai looks like a really talented football player. Now, am I thrilled with everything that has gone on in the draft? No, I still want to know how you're going to use Ozzie Trapillo. I still want to know, where does Shamar Turner slot into this, or is he improving in the slightest?
When he gets back, yeah.
Does Ruben Hippolyte still play for the team?
Jesus, yeah.
Like,
that is,
you know what I mean? Like I'm still waiting to see all of that. But I've got 3 pieces that I'm pretty confirmed on that are probably good football players. And a couple of them might be really good football players. Luther Burden already proving to be a better pick than Matthew Golden, which that's just phenomenal.
Mm.
And he's gotten half the looks, half the receptions. Now we might see some of that uptick here in the second half of his rookie season, and hopefully that gets a little bit more explosive. You get 3 hits in a draft. That's a good draft. You get 3 players that are starting caliber players in a draft. That's a good draft. Is it a perfect draft? No. Would I like to see some of those other pieces hit? Sure. I think you missed on some stuff. But we were having this conversation last night on when we were doing the Bulls live call. Kyle Monangai is proving to be much better than Ashton Genty. It's crazy that the guy that was in the Big Ten is better than the guy from the Mountain West.
Yeah.
As you get into the season, now you're winning games. You're 7-3. You were in first place in the division. Now, remember, Ryan Poles did say we're going to take the division and never give it back. Let's see if we give it back here the rest of the way. Yeah, don't you give it back. Don't you give it back, buddy.
Don't you do it.
I think that this is the first time that we can say, check it off the list. This is a successful season for Ryan Poles, even if the season don't finish perfect, right? If you finish the season with going 3-4, you get 10 wins in your final. You get 10 wins to finish. You get 3 wins in your final 7 games of the season. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not losing my mind. Is it ideal? No. I'd rather see you win every game. But, like, I think that if we finish this season with 10 wins, we're going to be beating our chest going into next year, losing our minds. I would say check off that this is a successful season for Ryan Poles. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll check it off too. I would say that this is definitely success as of right now. If you told me in the first 10 games or 11 weeks of the season, I should say, that we would be 7-3, that would be very, very exciting and tantalizing in a sense because of having a rookie head coach and knowing that Caleb came from just a very disorderly situation his rookie year, like, and now all of a sudden we kind of like are putting the pieces together and it's looking like a better picture. Absolutely, I'm giving kudos to Ryan Poles that this is a W season for him, and I go to the saying better late than never, because we've criticized Ryan Poles so many times for kind of being late in the and not jumping the gun when it comes to, like we talked about, the protection on the offensive line. You had times where you could have went out and spent money to address those issues time and time again, and you patched up this line with the likes of Ryan Bateses and the Coleman Sheltons and you know those guys that Matt Pryors, you know the guys that clearly were backups on other teams that they were available for a reason. And I think you had the second cheapest line, I want to say, last year when it came to how much money was put into it, a little over 20 million total. Now you're actually putting and have invested in a legitimate line where you've gotten some of the better run blockers in the NFL that were available. You've gotten an all-pro in Joe Tooney, who you could just put him on the line and not worry about him in the slightest. And so for me, I am very happy that Ryan Poles finally understood, okay, this is what needs to be done in order to move forward and make this team better. You address the trenches seemingly. I think that obviously that we need to get better when it comes to the other side of the ball, the defensive part of things. I think sometimes his evaluation of players goes a little overlooked or missed on certain players, such as the Adangbo. I think as of right now, that's missed. I think as of right now, that is a miss.
That might be his worst contract.
That probably
might be his worst contract.
Probably is. And so while we're criticizing, we can also congratulate Ryan Poles, because I love the fact that you brought CJ Gardner-Johnson in because he made an immediate impact.
That might be his best contract.
If you told me that we were picking up this guy based off of his reputation, I would be surprised, because I would think that with this type of organization, we want the nice guys. We want the locker room angels. Yeah. No, you want a football player. You want a guy that is going to, sometimes maybe get a little dirty or I should say a little messy. I don't want to say dirty. I should say a little, aggressive in the way that he plays and he gets under people's skin. That's good when he's on your team. Those type of players.
He pushes the line. He toes the line of.
Toes the line.
I mean, not dirty. I wouldn't say dirty, but he toes the line of. I'm a put my finger in your eye, but I ain't gonna touch your eye.
Puts it right there, there.
Oh, you hit me in the face. Oh, yeah, I need a flag. Whoa, I need a flag.
So that's what I love. And he's made an impact. He just hasn't come here and just filled up a spot. He's made an impact. 3 sacks in the first 2 games of his career as a Bear. Like, that's phenomenal. And so, again, I give kudos to Ryan Poles. I give credit where credit is due. He is definitely addressing certain issues correctly this time. When you have 3 hits in the draft, that is very good. Like you mentioned, when you have 3 legitimate starters, that is very good. I do have a concern that 2 of your second-round picks, one is not being used. The other is, I think, out for the season now. And so we still have to see what happens with Shamar Turner moving forward. Hopefully that's also not another Zach Pickens version of things. So when I put it like this, when Ryan Poles is batting 50-50, I'll give him a pass. It looks good because, again, I think he's also allowing the coaching staff to have a say in the how things are going as well. When it came to the draft, I believe he also is looking at what Ben Johnson wanted to implement when it came to the players that they took. And so I think that's also the sign of a good GM that, hey, maybe I have a certain weakness or not an eye for certain things in this draft. Let me lean on my staff. Let me lean on the guys that have done this, like the Dennis Allens and the Eric Bieniemys, who have coached really good players and have drafted really, really good players at certain positions that you have not. And so I'll give it a pass for this year.
Yeah, listen, I think that is it a perfect situation? No, are there misses 100%? But you have to give him credit for doing, and I think this is the biggest one, and it's one that he sucked at the entire time here. Although I'm not gonna lie to you, how quickly he fixed things. There's a part of me that's like, was he trying to get Flus fired? there's a part of me that's like, but you set your quarterback up for failure. Was he trying to get Flus fired? Was he like, I gotta get this guy out of here?
That's an interesting angle. That's
a conspiracy theory on that one.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, the X-Files.
Is that X-Files? Is that Twilight Zone? That was Twilight Zone.
I don't know.
Right?
Oh, that was Twilight Zone. You're right. You're right. I was
Like,
thinking, yeah, you're right.
I don't remember what X-Files is. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't seen X-Files in a minute. X-Files just be crazy. But anyway, no, but listen, the biggest thing that you have to give him credit on, and if you're a Bears fan, you have to give him credit on, we've got an offensive line. And not like you got a solid offensive line. It's a piece together. No, we have like a top 5 offensive line.
Yes, sir.
Even with the Canadian Eagle out there. You've got an offensive line right now that your center, top 5 in the NFL. Your left guard, top 5 in the NFL. Your right guard, top 5 in the NFL. Your right tackle, top 5 in the NFL. And for most of those guys, they're top 3. I think Jonah Jackson is actually top 5. But for most of those guys, they're top 3. We ain't had an offensive line since Olin Kreutz. Olin Kreutz ain't even big no more. Olin Kreutz is skinny now. We haven't had an offensive line since Olin Kreutz was on the team, ripping heads off. He don't even rip heads off no more. I went to one of J-Mac's games when Olin Kreutz was the coach, and J-Mac's out there losing his mind. He's like, yeah, son of a, I got you messed that call. I'm sick of it. And Olin's going over to the kid. He's like, listen, we want to be cool about this. You know what I mean? Right. Everything's going to be all right. So I was like, what the We haven't had an offensive line since Olin Kreutz was in the building.
That's insane.
And to me, you went from not having an offensive line to this season. You go after a guy like Joe Thuney because you trust him with the head coach that he's going to be placed with. You go after a guy like Jonah Jackson because you trust him with this head coach to get him back on track. You go after a guy like Drew Dahlman, who was the best center available. You went after the best of the best on the offensive side. Now, the swing and the miss on defense is bad. It is. Swing and a miss on defense is bad.
Yeah.
But I love what I'm seeing on the offensive side of the line. And is it perfect every time? No. Again, I keep saying this. They're still figuring it out. There are times when Drew Dahlman's snapping the football too high. There are times when Jonah Jackson's getting blown off the ball. Joe Thuney's old. Like, those things are happening. And guess what? You got a young quarterback back there that is making it happen with the little whoop, 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 whoop. Let me hit you with the jab step and then the spin.
Bro, the magic he makes. Bro,
that spin out is, bro, he got an iconic move already. That spin out is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen that mug, bro. That spin out is insane.
It's pretty good.
His sack avoidance is through the roof.
It's epic. It is epic. Yeah.
But like, when you've done that, I have to give you your flowers, especially when we've sat on these platforms and we've gone about killing you. And we have. Listen, I remember Ryan Poles, stop drafting dudes that play like you. I still stand on that one.
I love that.
I still stand on that one.
You might have heard you.
Yeah, I know he heard me. I know he heard me. He knows who I am. He actually sees me every time I'm up there and goes, dude. And he's like, nice pair of glasses. He always says nice glasses. And then, like, I think I switched to like my blue ones. He was like, how many glasses do you have? I was like, I got to know. So he's like,
I like that, dog.
I'm gonna get him I'm gonna get him a gift for giving me a fun Bears season. I'm gonna get him a custom pair of glasses that are like transition shades. They ain't gonna have no lenses in them, but like be like some shades or something. I'm gonna get him a nice pair of glasses because
you've been talking about my glasses all this time.
It's been a fun year. I'm like, hey, here's some designer glasses. No, they're not designer. They're Pat the designer.
Oh.
Pat Moranzoni, here's my card.
That would be a flex. I love it.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Show love, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We over 100 in the chat.
Hey.
Over 200 in the chat. 200. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Big shout out to you guys.
Appreciate y'all
for fighting through the internet outage that apparently is out here for.
Jesus.
It's just the internet's down. I didn't know the internet could go down. That's scary.
City.
That's scary. But hey, man, let's finish it out with this because, as I said, people may be moody after hearing this one. Jake Moody was signed last night off of the Chicago Bears practice squad by your Washington Commanders. And we know we're going to see them again because we see them every freaking year. I'm so ready to be done with the Commanders. But there's a lot of people last night who were like, you waited too long. You knew this was going to happen. You had ample opportunity to fix it, even after a Cairo Santos game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
And they were still ready to move on from Cairo. JC, did the Bears miss an opportunity to get Jake Moody back on the roster, or are you fine with them sticking with Cairo?
I think because of the recency bias, and you had Jake Moody actually win you a game when Cairo went down.
Yes, you did.
Against the very team that he went to. And I think he went 4 for 5. And then the very next game against the Saints, he was perfect, I believe, as well. Quote me. Hopefully I'm right with that.
I believe he was perfect.
Yeah, I believe he was perfect. And so it just looked like a breath of fresh air because before that, we were talking about Cairo Santos's power in his leg and the fact that, if you get him behind 50, it's very, very iffy, and you don't know if he has enough, of a leg to win you games when the game is close. He's gotten his kick blocked, even under 50 yards. And so there was concern that, okay, you got this guy who has the reputation, who was a 3rd round pick for the San Francisco 49ers, that somehow becomes available because they were done with him. Now he gets a second chance. He comes here, he does his job, and it's like, okay, well, let's just move on. He clearly has a stronger leg. He was known for that coming out of Michigan. And so for me, when I initially kind of had the good vibes of that going on, I said, okay, yeah, Cairo, you need to go ahead and find another team. Now that we're back into the, kind of calm down and kind of a little bit removed from those games that he won for us, I appreciate Jake Moody, but at the same time, I understand why the Bears stuck with Cairo Santos. Over the course of a number of seasons, Cairo has been a steady force as a kicker. He's used to the weather and the winds and, the likes of Soldier Field and knowing how to kick there. And so you have confidence in that to a certain extent. He is technically more efficient when it comes to the 40-yarders and the 45-yarders and things of that nature. And so I would say I just kind of had to have a moment of just relax. We understand that, kickers are going to miss, but when it comes down to it, Cairo can still win you a game. And so I don't have a problem with Jake Moody moving on at this point.
Yeah, listen, I think it is hilarious that I was going to bring up that same point. It's hilarious that people were ready to crown Jake Moody on a 5-4 day because he beat the Commanders, which I love and I appreciate. And I'm glad that he was a part of this team for that. But we're ready to move off of Cairo Santos after a 5-4 day versus the Vikings, in which he got a game winner. Yeah. Like it truly is one of those things where it's just like, listen, I get it. And I will say this. I do think that there are a couple situations now where you also have to look at the kicks you can't send Cairo out there for as misses if you're punting the football away. I think when you're a better football team, you're probably not going to be punting the football very much. Remember, we went through a stretch there. I think in the last game we punted more than we've punted in the previous 2 games. And we went there through a stretch there where Torrey Taylor was resting the leg. So to me, like, I think you also have to, it depends on how the team is playing. It depends on the mindset of the coach that day. And it depends on how the offense is moving the ball up the field. Because I'll be honest with you, unless it's a game-winning situation, there's not a lot of times where Ben Johnson is going to sit there and say, Cairo, we need you to get us 50. There's not a ton of times where you're going to say Cairo has kicked 2 50-plus yarders this year. He's kicked 3. He's made 2, I should say.
Okay.
He's got a 52 and a 54. They're not asking him to kick the football long. They're asking him to be a more accurate kicker. And so for what they're asking him to do, Cairo's perfect, especially in Soldier Field. Like, this, who was the game that came here? Was it the no, because the Raiders was away. The Ravens was away. The Bengals was away. It had to be the Giants. Was it windy on the Giants? I think it was the Giants game, right? Didn't that kicker miss a kick that Cairo like nailed?
You might be right with that. I think
one of those games.
I think he did miss
one of those games Giants where it was like
yeah.
their kicker came up, boom, and it just flies to the right. Cairo comes up and drills the very next one right down the middle from the same distance. Like, there's an art to kicking in Soldier Field. Hopefully, we won't have that art needed much longer, but right now you do still need a kicker that can get that done for you. So I'm not mad that Cairo Santos is here. Would I rather him have a longer leg? Sure. But I also like the fact that we've got a quarterback that just goes, we ain't going to put him in a position where we don't need that leg to be that long.
Yeah.
That might be a pause. But hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to show love. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys. As well as always, we are excited right now with our first place Chicago Bears team. If your team ain't in first place, what are you, a Packer? Hey, man, hit that like button if you have not done so. Subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Yeah, I know what to do. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. It's your boy, the designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love.
What did Ricky Bobby say? If you ain't first, you last.
If you ain't first, you last. We've been last a lot.
FGB.
It's good to be on this side.
He ain't lying.
Bear down. I gotta go put the door back up.
What?
Had to take the door down to get the drywall down. Now I'm like, I gotta put the door back up.
Looking good, man. Looking
Still
good.
got a lot of room to go. If I zoom out, there's a problem.
Oh.
But we're getting there. We're getting there. That's right.